All right, well, welcome Blue Jay Life Designers to Future Fest Soundcheck on navigating the trade show floor. My name is Sonjala Williams, and I am a life design educator in the Life Design Lab. And I do specifically work with applied math and statistics graduate students typically, but I'm here to help you all today. So let's get started. All right, so does this look familiar? This is a scene from a typical career fair, right? Rows and rows of employers, masses of students. You don't know where to put your book bag. You're standing in long lines, juggling your folio while trying to shake hands, and you're suited up from top to bottom. It can be overwhelming, okay? Everybody remember this? Show of hands. You can also use the thumbs up. I encourage audience participation. All right, so here is a scene from a typical virtual career fair like Future Fest, okay? The trade show floor in particular. There will be a virtual lobby where you'll get in line to chat with employers. You can view employer profiles before you get in line. There's very easy navigation, and you can do it all from the comfort of your own home. And you don't even have to wear pants. All right, so Future Fest is an alternative to a traditional career fair. It is a multi-day festival-themed event. It includes 4 stages that you can participate in. The main stage has keynote speakers and activities. The dance floor has networking opportunities. And there are also competitions to showcase your talent and skills to employers. And then there's what this presentation is about, the trade show floor, which is a virtual career fair, okay? I'm glad that you're attending Soundcheck. You can attend the Soundcheck Future Fest Backstage Pass to learn more about how to navigate the entire event and set up your game plan. So I'm gonna go first through just 10 quick tips for navigating the trade show floor, right? Tip number 1, you wanna register on Handshake under career fairs to receive a confirmation email with further instructions and a link to our platform for the virtual career fair called Brazen, okay? So must register on Handshake. Tip number 2, you want to use the link provided in your confirmation email to register and complete your profile on Brazen. Be sure to include all information for employers, including your Hopkins email, resume, LinkedIn URL, and a profile photo. Tip number 3. And I put the wrong image, I'm sorry. It should be 10 quick tips right here, but I'm gonna still share the tips. Now that you've crafted your Brazen profile, be sure to register separately for each day of the trade show floor you wish to attend. We recommend registering for all 4 days to allow you the greatest chance of interacting with your employer of interest. Tip number 4, prior to the event, you can explore employers, view job postings, and prepare your questions. Remember, the employer lineup changes every day, so be sure to craft a plan for each day. Tip number 5, attend a Preface Soundcheck event to help you prepare your materials, and you're right on target for that. Tip number 6, once on the trade show floor opens up, be sure to join the chat queue for each employer you'd like to meet with. You can join their queue by going to their booth and clicking on chat in the upper right-hand corner or through the Manage Your Chats tab on the dashboard. Tip number 7, once a representative becomes available, you'll automatically be matched and begin a one-on-one text-based chat. These chats are limited to 10 minutes, so be sure to use your time efficiently and effectively. In certain situations, employers can extend this time by 2 or 5 minutes. Tip number 8, be prepared as the employer may request to initiate a video or audio chat. You can choose to accept or decline both video and audio if you're unable to chat via video or audio. just politely decline, give a brief rationale, and express your interest in continuing the conversation over text. After each chat, you'll be prompted to leave a final thought or message to the representative. We recommend a brief thank you. You'll also have the opportunity to add a rating and notes for your own private record keeping. And tip number 10, after the event, be sure to keep a record of your connections for future employer engagements. Knowing who and when you've spoken to someone from their company could help you get your foot in the door for future opportunities. Now, let's take a deeper dive. Any questions so far on anything? Okay, we'll keep going. Well, to navigate the trade show floor, there are 3 key elements of success. Before the event, which is doing some advanced preparation. During the event, which are some day of strategies to help you. And then after event, follow-up. So before Future Fest, register. You want to register for the trade show floor, register for Handshake, register for the trade show floor on Handshake and Brazen, okay? You want to register in Handshake under career fairs. So when you navigate to Handshake, click on events, and then once you're in events, you can click on career fairs. And then you'll receive a confirmation email with further information and a link to the Brazen platform. The email will say, welcome to the Future Festival Trade Show. So you want to be looking out for that email title, okay? Your LDE will also send out important updates about the trade show, and Brazen will provide access, okay? You must register for each day, okay? For the trade show floor, okay? Up to 4 times. Okay, you will create a profile the first time in step 1, and then that same profile will be used for all 4 days. You want to make sure your profile is complete, okay? You want to populate your profile by having these items ready. Your JHU email, a resume, your LinkedIn URL is not required, but highly favorable. A profile picture with a clear headshot. It's definitely a way to make you stand out, as they can see your face if it's a text-based chat. And also include the sections, what types of positions are you looking for? So you need to think about that. What types of positions am I open to? And list those out just by separating in the comma. And what technical or soft skills do I have? Those are also things you can list. You can also use not quite a bulleted list, but I was able to do a list using asterisks that I copied and pasted from a Word document. Also, what date you're available. This is important. Even if you don't have your resume totally ready, still attend. Don't let that be a factor in you not attending, because that's more reason to make your profile more robust so that the employers have something to go on. But even if you don't feel, if you feel like your resume is not done yet, or you haven't even started, and we do have a sound check on resumes tomorrow, still attend the event. Just fill out your profile fully and be ready to talk to the employers. Before Future Fest, this is something you want to do because you can link your LinkedIn profile and your Brazen profile. You want to make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date. And also, LinkedIn is one of the preferred methods of logging in. Make sure on your LinkedIn that your email is also up to date with an email that you will check even after graduation. You also want to develop a clean, well-designed, and concise and error-free resume. You want to use VMOC to improve your resume. And if we could get a VMOC link, actually I might be able to do that myself. If we can drop the link for VMOC, I think it's vmoc.com/JHU. into the chat for students. So VMOC is a resume refinement tool that offers instant and personalized resume feedback. Your performance scores is based on benchmarks with peers and sample content. So students, you can actually upload up to 10 resumes, right? So you don't want to waste them all, you know, at one time, because you only get 10 shots, right? So do the best you can on your resume so you think you have it perfectly, then put it in VMOC, get your feedback, make those changes, right? Before you put it back into VMOC, right? You want to get a score of at least 85%, and then it's ready. You can have one of your life design educators take a look at it once you've already ran it through VMOC to get the corrections a couple of times, okay? Another thing you want to do before Future Fest and not wait till afterwards is make sure your technology is ready to go. You want to make sure you have a device that's capable of supporting the virtual career fair. While it is preferable to have camera capability in case the employer would like to speak with you face to face, you don't necessarily have to have a camera device, but definitely will help make a stronger impression. And you may be on camera, so be prepared, because again, they may request to initiate video or audio. You want to demonstrate strong body language in your video chats. You want to get your best angle, and so you want to be able to make eye contact. So I actually have my laptop stacked on two game boxes, right? And so that it is at the proper height, so you're not looking down at the camera. You also want to attend from a distraction-free environment and check your lighting. So I have actually backlit myself so that my lighting is coming from the back of my computer and there's no light coming from behind me, okay? You also want to have a message ready to copy and paste, especially if you don't have the ability to video chat. You want to have a short message letting them know why you're not able to video chat, that you can just copy and paste in there. Because remember, you can choose to decline, just give your brief rationale, okay, as we already stated. And because you may be on camera, you also want to wear a professional outfit, at least from the waist up, right? Here are some samples from casual to business formal, both for men and for women, okay? For this career fair, we suggest the smart casual to business formal would be acceptable, okay? So just take a minute to look at the different styles of dress for smart casual to business formal. Also, before Future Fest, you want to explore the employers, view the job postings, and prepare your questions. Remember, the employer lineup changes daily, so you want to be sure to craft a plan for each day, okay? You can research organizations both on the Handshake platform in career fairs. There will be short bios of the employers, as well as in the Brazen platform. Once you register, you can go in and start to look at their profiles that they have. Some of them have job postings listed. They have information about their company, okay? Take some time to review them. You want to get an idea of the companies you'd like to meet, and you don't want to walk in unprepared. On Handshake, you can actually sort it by majors that they said that they were looking for, but don't let that be the only determinant, because sometimes companies might be focusing on one thing and the recruiter they send is for one area. However, you could research and know the recruiter, that company does recruit for your major. And so your strategy just needs to change a little bit. Same for international students. Sometimes you'll see on Handshake that does not sponsor thing on there. What you want to do is cross-reference that company name with a tool in Handshake as well called Going Global. It is in the section when you go to the Career Center, click on resources, and then career resources, that you can click a link called Going Global. H-1B visa database allows you to put a company name in there, and you will see if it is recently petitioned for H-1B on behalf of someone. Then you know that company is international friendly, okay? But what you want to do is visit the websites, visit their company information, and grasp enough knowledge so that you'll be able to hold a short conversation, all right? And you want to be able to connect your background with their needs, okay? From your research, again, you may learn that the company does hire for your desired types of positions, even though they didn't state it, or they do hire people that need H-1B for your field. The recruiter sent just might not be the right recruiter to recruit. So be prepared to talk to them briefly and then get them to either forward your resume or give you the contact to the right person in the organization for your desired position or desired level, okay? So it's not a wasted conversation. You wanna make sure you still try to get a contact. All right, also before Future Fest, you wanna practice some answers to common questions and use your stars. Think of it like, you know, stars taken from behavioral interviewing where we tell a story. You wanna be able to tell stories to employers because this might turn into a mini interview, right? So be able to answer things like, tell me about yourself, and definitely be able to say what jobs you're interested in and be able to say why and why you're interested in that company, what connection you feel to the position and how your skills would lend themselves to the position. And the behavioral questions like, tell me about a time when, give me an example of, be able to answer those. And of course the STARS technique, situation, task, action, and result. And then the extra S is skills, tie those skills back to how it relates to the company. You wanna be able to have those ready. You can even copy and paste them. I already have it already pre-typed out, okay? Now, if you do create notes ahead of time and you get on video, do not read them verbatim because it will sound very canned. So what you want to do is maybe try to put it in bullet point format for yourself so that you're just reading highlights. Also, before Future Fest, you want to prepare 2 to 3 thoughtful questions that you want to ask each job recruiter. Things like, what would really make me stand out for this position? What made you hire the last person you hired? What sealed the deal? Or how would you describe your company culture? Remember, it's a two-way street. You're trying to find out if this is a good fit for you as well. So asking about the company culture is very important, okay? You also wanna prioritize the employers you plan to meet. So you want to create a hierarchy of companies that might be most promising for you. Also, don't go to your top employer first. This is a tip I actually heard from listening to another earlier presentation, is you might want to get your feet wet on someone a little less intimidating in the earlier stages, and then once you get your courage up and your confidence, then go for the gusto, okay? Because when you click on that chat, if they're open, you're gonna be zinged, you're gonna be put right into that chat. So you might not wanna do that on your first go around with the top company that you're wanting to talk to. Also, remember, every day there's gonna be different employers. So if there's employers that are gonna be there on the later days, then you might hold back on them for the first day and not go to them, wait till the second, third, fourth day to talk to them, because there'll be more opportunity to talk to them later and focus on other companies who are only gonna be there maybe for that one day, okay? Make sure again that you review your resume, your experiences, your goals, and be able to tie your knowledge of yourself and the industry to the company, and that will help you develop those questions that you're going to be asking them. Because you don't want to just go into the booth and just be like, oh, tell me what you got, okay? You want to have something to say. You want to sound like you're intelligent and that you thought about this and that you're talking to them for a reason. All right, so also before them, you also want to make up your self-introduction or elevator pitch. Other Sound checks are probably going to go over this in more detail, but basically it's your self-introduction. And it's a very unique and versatile tool. You can use this on your LinkedIn profile summary. You can use this when you're talking to employers at career fairs, at social gatherings, anywhere, right? So you want to have this handy, right? And it basically introduces yourself and tells a person something about you that identifies your common interests, okay? So I encourage you to pre-prepare your self-intro. That might be the first thing that you send them in the chat when you start. All right, so now we're at the day of Future Fest. You want to make sure that you log in with the URL provided in your confirmation email, okay? Remember, it's going to be a different link for every day. And if you cannot remember your password, you can click the forgotten password link, the lower left corner, to reset it. So then you want to click to enter the live event. And once you return to the event landing page, you want to click enter the event icon. It will be located in the center of the page. You will automatically be entered into the event, okay? If you've previously registered, then you will not have to recomplete the profile, but the first time when you register, you'll do the profile. You'll be taken to the lobby and you'll see a welcome sign where you can say enter, and you hit that to confirm. All right. Also, remember, you are being evaluated from the second the employer begins to connect with you. So you don't want to have, radio silence or nothing going on in the chat, right? You want to be confident. If you get on video, smile, act like you're excited to be there. Just get that enthusiastic manner about you, okay? You want to be assertive, polite, and positive, and also conversational, okay? This is a two-way street. You're trying to find out more about that employer. Some employers also will employ small talk before they get into questions. So be prepared to be asked anything. In terms of communication, you want to make sure that you're using clear business communication. Sometimes when you're chatting, you might have the tendency to want to use chat lingo and things like that. And you actually want to make sure that, the grammar matters. Text lingo, using emoticons and slang are not appropriate. You want to make sure that your communication is on its A game. Be proactive. Within that virtual environment, it's very easy to observe and not participate. However, the way to stand out is to engage the recruiter, okay? You also have the capability to don't be afraid to ask questions, and ask informed questions based on your prior research and preparation of the company posted that they were looking for. So for example, if they had already posted that they were looking for a project manager, asking, well, what positions are you recruiting for, shows that you didn't do your research, right? Instead, ask, what are you looking for in a project manager, okay? To show that you prepared ahead of time. And treat the conversation as an informational interview or informal interview. Be prepared to introduce yourself, your elevator pitch, and demonstrate how you can contribute to the company. Talk about your strengths. Even if you're looking for an internship and you're a first-year student, you want to talk about your strengths. Never come in with an attitude of thinking that I don't have yet, right? I know it's tough sometimes when you're just starting out and you haven't really gotten into the meat of your program yet, but you have things that you have. If you're a master's student from undergrad, you might have been a leader before you even got to college and done different things. So try to think of what you bring to the table. I often tell my students to think of what are their top 3 selling points. Know those code, come up with stars for your top 3 selling points, right? And be able to talk about them at the drop of a dime, okay? You also wanna take notes, and if you create notes, again, beforehand, don't read them verbatim. but it's going to be helpful if you have those handy when you're going to employers. So you want to have your station ready, right? So that you review the note before you enter into the booth and before you click chat. Once you click chat, you're on live, right? It's not time to be reading your notes, okay? And we already talked about having them in bullet point format, okay? And you do want to make sure, though, that you're keeping your notes together so that you are organized, and that you not only have, we'll talk about what you can do in Brazen, but have your own outside area where you can also keep notes of the conversation. Okay, I do suggest that you, after speaking to each organization, you take a quick break before you go to the next virtual chat. And so I'll show you, if we get time, where you can toggle yourself off and on, and so that you don't jump into another meeting. Changing your resume. Maybe you're interested in different types of opportunities and you want a different resume that's organized differently or highlights different things. You can have different resumes in there, but you can only have one at a time. So you can switch your resumes out before the start of the event, or you can even switch during the event by clicking registration tab on the navigation bar. You also want to manage your chats. When you enter the chat, you want to make sure to join the chat queues for each employer you'd like to meet. When you enter, your chat availability is automatically set to available, okay? If you can see right here, it's set to available, okay? So you can begin to accept chats, right? You can get into line for a specific booth of choice. You may toggle your status to away anytime that you want to stop receiving chats, okay? You would toggle to the other side. Let's say you need to take a bathroom break, or you want to take a break to take notes, right? Then you want to toggle yourself for away. Once in line, one tip is to actually get in line for more than one organization at a time. You know, because there's going to be so many people, right? You can't necessarily expect as soon as you click chat for someone to be available, right? It's kind of like Disney World, you know, where you get that fast pass, right? And so you can be doing other things while you're waiting for your place in line for that particular attraction, employer, right? So go ahead and get in line for as many as you want, okay? And if you need technical support, you can always contact Brazen.
Angela, I want to pop in with a good question from the chat that Jessica posed. Will the platform let you know where you are in the queue for different employers? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can queue for different employers and your status is either you're available or you're away or busy. So if you get called into a chat with a different employer, you're taken offline for that employer's queue, but you can't see where you are in the queue line. Is that correct?
Yes, you cannot see where you are in the queue line. And even in fact, employers at this point, they cannot see how many people are in line for them as well. So I believe, though, you're not going to ever lose your place, so to speak, unless time runs out, right, for the event. So if you're in a chat with someone else and your time comes up for another one, I think that it will just roll and it'll just roll you down the log, okay? So I would not be worried about that, because that would not be a best practice to get in line for more than one if that were the case, okay?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Sonjala, I'm just going to cut in real quick. I'm Kelly. I'm the administrative coordinator for the office. I just want to give some background. One of the main reasons that you can't see where you are in the queue is because different companies are all structuring their booths slightly different. So some companies might have one person that everyone has to meet with before they can speak with other reps from the company. Some companies might only have one rep. So seeing where you are in the queue wouldn't be as helpful as you think it is, because every company is structuring their booths so differently.
Exactly. That's an excellent point. Thank you for sharing that, Kelly. Okay, so chatting, there are 2 ways to get in line though and start chatting in a booth, okay? One, you can scan the lobby. This is like the lobby for a booth you want, and then click to enter the individual booth by clicking the enter button. You'll be taken to that booth screen, okay? Click on the booth icon to search for the company you want. So you also can click here, and then you can get a search, and then you can search for the ones you want. Once you enter the button of the booth that you're interested in, you'll be taken to that booth screen. Click the green chat button in the upper right corner, this chat button here. Okay, so this is not waiting to chat, and then chat. You let them know that you're interested in chatting with the representative staffing this booth. Okay, for the search option, you can also switch to toggle to get in line. Okay, you will hear an audible ping when it is your turn to chat with the representative. You will automatically be taken to that screen. Please make sure to respond to the chat invitation promptly, as the chat will time out if the invitation is not accepted in a timely manner. You will chat directly with the representative while on this page. It is important to keep an eye on your chat connectivity and the time left in your conversation. Bad connectivity can affect your ability to chat, okay? So you can either do a search, and then you can actually toggle and get in line with a ton of companies at once, or you can click one by one from the lobby and enter their room, so to speak, and then click whether you want to chat. What this allows you to do entering the room is view all the information that they have for you ahead of time, and then decide if you want to chat, right? The other way, you're kind of just, if you know that you want to chat with the company and you just want to cut to the chase, I would suggest using the search feature. All right, so chats are text-based, one-on-one, and the chat has a limit of 10 minutes, right? So you want to make sure that you are using your time most effectively. This is an example of what it will look like. Okay, you'll see the recruiter, and there'll be a little information about them there, and then your information is over here. You can put a greeting. You only do this once you log into the event though, but you can set a greeting that everybody gets when you enter a chat. So you could be like, hello, my name is Sonjala Williams. You could actually put your self-introduction actually in this part here, but know that everybody's going to get that when you connect for a chat. If you don't have time to chat with a company or employer, but you would like to, you're going to have the ability, I just confirmed this, to leave a message, but not actually your resume, okay? But there is the ability, and the resume part may be turned on once the event is live, but when I looked at it now, you could only send a message. So I know that that part is definitely true. And so that might be good, especially as time's winding down. There's some employers you still want to talk to, and you didn't have time. Send them a quick message, and then hopefully they'll follow up with you after the event. Now, at the end of your chats, you want to make sure that you ask for next steps and contact information. Don't hesitate, as I said, to ask to be forwarded to the right recruiter and offer to send a copy of your resume. You could also ask about next steps in the process, whether that means getting in touch with human resources, filling out an application, or sitting down for a formal interview. Before parting ways with the recruiter, make sure to take down their contact information, or at least make sure you note their names and find them on LinkedIn, right? Some employers may have it uploaded and accessible within the virtual platform. If not, just ask how to stay in touch. You'll also need this information for following up after the virtual fair. At the end of each chat, you will be prompted to leave a final thought or message to the representative. We recommend a brief thank you. You also have the opportunity to add notes for your own private record keeping. So these are notes that only you can see, okay? You'll be taken to a chat conclusion page. This page allows you to rate your chat and take notes on anything that you discussed. And when done, you click continue with the event to return to the event lobby. And when you do that, remember, you're now available for another meeting. So if you come up in another meeting that you already signed up for, you might be whisked away to another one right afterwards. So you want to learn how to definitely use that availability toggle if you want a breather in between, okay? After Future Fest. All right, so you want to reach out the next day within, what they say, within 48 hours with a thank you. And congratulations, you have just successfully navigated the trade show floor. You're ready to relax and call it a wrap, right? Wrong. You don't want your efforts to be wasted by neglecting to follow up with those connections you made. You'd be surprised how few job seekers actually take the time to follow up after their career fair conversations, okay? That's when you do it, you'll get an edge over many of your peers. Okay, so you want to be sure to reach out to the connections you made, thank them for their time, and further expressing your interest in working for the company. The simple act of thanking them for their time and asking about next steps can truly make a big impact. And remember, your thank you note is serving two functions. One, to express your gratitude to the organization, and two, to stay on top of the employer's mind. So make sure that your thank you isn't just a relisting of your abilities. It should remind the person of why you might be the right person for a particular job, include a few takeaways from your conversation. So that's where your notes after each meeting come into play. So from each conversation with your virtual career fair. And so that's okay in your talk to even talk about some quirky things or interesting things about you, because that might be the thing that they remember that makes you unique and stand out from the rest of the crowd. Remember that if you are encouraged to follow up with someone else, so they're like, I'm not the best person, but follow up with XYZ, that you get that person's name and contact information, okay? And if you have questions about any of this, you know, that's what us life design educators are here for. And that's the end of the official presentation. Any questions? So if we don't have any questions, I would like to show you can you all see my screen? Okay. I would like to show you a few of the key things that you need to do. All right, so handshake. What do we need to do on handshake? Click on events. And sorry, the internet is not always my friend in terms of speed. Okay, once you're in events, here we go, career fairs. Click on career fair, Hopkins virtual career fair, and then make sure that you register, okay? I just unregistered myself. So you click register, all right? That is going to trigger you getting the email that includes how to register for the trade show floor, Brazen, okay? Once you're in Brazen, okay, then you register You need to fill out your profile. This is what your profile looks like. Choose an image, put in that email information, school, so what types of positions you're looking for. I put 3, data analysis, data science, quantitative analysis. I'm available as early as December 2020. What skills? I just copied this from somebody's resume. Language skills, computer literacy. They have Java, R, Python. Industry skills, data mining, stochastic processing. Hobbies, okay? This is a place I told you can include hobbies. This might be a place. They scan that real quick. That might be where they start the conversation. What I call industry skills are those knowledge-based skills. Think about all the things that you can do that you from classes that you learn. So instead of, often in resumes, I tell students, instead of listing coursework, pull out those skills you learned in your courses and have a more robust, full skills section, including your industry skills, your methods, your areas of knowledge, right? So you can include all of that. So that's why I was saying, even if you don't feel like your resume is ready yet, you can still put this information in here and they can have something to go by. When you go to the lobby, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna do this little dance thing here. Oh, did I get kicked out? So if you already, first time you register, you click register now, okay? And they'll take you to that page we already saw. If you already registered, then you log in. And then that's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna have these options to link to. It's gonna do that little dance. Hopefully your internet is faster than mine. And then the trade show floor. So as you can see, there are already employers in the trade show floor, okay? Already employers in here. So you click on them, click enter. You can start doing some of your research now. So some of them, they'll have the booth representatives. Now, you cannot determine which booth representative that you speak to. It's just automatic, right? But it's gonna be one of these people. Then Bloomberg, they put some positions that they're having open, and then some information about Bloomberg, right? Let's look at another one. Let's see, AstraZeneca for internships. Okay, ready to chat. They tell you about areas that they're looking for, right? And then those are the people. Some employers have not filled this out fully yet. Some have put a lot of information in there. Look at this one, free housing available. They have 2 reps in there so far. They list their opportunities, okay? So look, lots of information you can glean about them, what they're about. So you can't say, I didn't know, didn't have the opportunity. You can do your research right there, okay? Can you drop the link for the 10 quick tips? Or I can actually drop it. Let me copy. Oh wait, let me do it this way. So this is a video of the 10 quick tips.
Thanks, Sonjala. And if you guys scroll up in the chat, there are links to VMOC as well as the handshake link to the career fair event. So if you haven't already gone through the process that Sonjala just illustrated, the link is up there. So
that's a link to the tips that I went over, that I had the wrong image for.
Life design educator working with the CSF.
All right. And then this just came out hot off the presses. There is an app for navigating Future Fest. And so you can sign up for this app and then you answer these questions and it will suggest your recommended lineup. Then you also can click see full agenda and you can add things to your recommended lineup. You can click on the days, right? So for Future Fest for tomorrow, if you missed some workshops, you can say, oh, I want to go to navigating the Backstage Pass and I want to tell your story. I already saw navigating Tradeshow 4, so I don't need that one. But a little bit about interviewing and networking might be helpful, right? And then, you know, it's clicking for details and the link to register, okay? So how handy is that? Actually, I'm gonna drop that in there. So this is a link to the brand new app that was student developed. All right, so we have a few minutes, maybe 5 before we need to get out of here for the next one. Does anyone have any burning questions or want to go over anything? Everybody feel ready? Show of hands. You know how to raise your hand? Thumbs up. You know how to do thumbs up? You might feel ready.
Thanks for all the great questions in the chat. I appreciate you guys engaging. I know, Sonjala, you couldn't see as many, but there were some really wonderful questions and we got to flesh through some things. So if those types of questions come up the day of, there will be office hours that are occurring throughout the span of Future Fest next week. So you can always pop into those office hours if you're having trouble, or, you know, if you're looking for a strategy on how to approach an employer, there will be office hours to kind of help to troubleshoot some of those things. But yeah, appreciate you guys asking such great questions.
And I really recommend going to the one called the Backstage Pass, if you can, tomorrow, because the Backstage Pass will tell you how do I navigate the whole event, right? So I think that's important to not only just focus on the trade show floor, but there's networking opportunities with employers and alumni, that competition where you can showcase your skills and put that on your resume. So definitely go to the Backstage Pass tomorrow if you can do it, to get the most out of the whole event. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. See you next week. Tomorrow.